Welcome back to Eat to Grow podcast. It's been a minute.
Hot minute.
Yes. Kelly, what did you do over the holidays?
So I honestly rested and recovered a ton. I took 2 weeks off. I think it was about 2 weeks, a week and a half off of work, which was like the first time ever, which felt so good. So lots of sleep. John was off too. So we got to it felt like almost like a winter break in college when you finally have time off together. So that was super fun. I went to John's family on Christmas Eve this year for Christmas. And then I spent the day with my mom on Christmas Day. And I didn't do anything on New Year's Eve. We just fell asleep right after midnight. But I went out for your birthday the following weekend after that and had a good old time. So I took that as a celebration. But yeah, kind of just rest, recover, which I so needed. What about you?
Totally. Well, on the holidays, I went on Christmas. You went on Christmas Eve. I went on Christmas. So we didn't see each other over the Christmas time.
Yeah.
But then New Year's, what did I do for New Year's? Oh, I went to Boston. I just went to a little bar.
Yeah.
But I worked New Year's Eve, so then I got an Uber and just met my boyfriend out. Oh, Ty. Yeah. I met him out. Yeah. And that was fun. That was a good time. And then we went out for my birthday. It was honestly so fun at the end. It was just such a good time. We were with Ty. We were with his friends. Me and you were together. It was just such a great time.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want to tell them the funny story of the night out. We can talk. We're at Capo, which is a bar in Southie, and everything was going great. I was feeling awesome. We were pacing really great, but because it was Kate's birthday, people were downstairs in the basement buying shots for Kate, and they're do you want a shot? Do you want a shot? I'm like, sure. So then we get upstairs and then we meet with Ty, and there's also a few people that I know from high school that we were also with that I got to see. So it was Kate's birthday, and it hit midnight. So everybody's let's take a shot. And I'm like, I never turn down a shot, and I need to learn to turn down a shot. Okay. And I learned from this experience. And I was like, okay, I got to do it. It's the birthday. And I've never had this happen before in my entire existence of life, ever, okay? And I've had nights out where after I'm out, I puke, okay? It was an immediate visceral
It was a visceral reaction.
And I literally vomited on myself and it was because it hit my gag reflex. I don't know what it was. It was the most embarrassing thing ever, but Kate saved the day. She literally cleaned it up immediately. Nobody saw it except for me, myself, and Ty and her. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I literally couldn't believe it. And I was like, okay, I am so done with shots. I literally can't. And I was I felt fine. I felt so fine.
It was just such a visceral. It wasn't even because you were drunk and you were.
No,
and that was literally you just took it and immediately came back up.
It was.
I was okay, let's get the napkins. No one saw. We're fine.
I was I died inside. I was paralyzed. I was I don't know. That was how my last night. And I'm you know what? No shots. I have David's birthday this Friday, and I know they're going to be shots. I'm passing up on the shot. I am done. Okay. Nobody asked me to do a shot anymore unless I'm at my house.
Yeah, right.
So that was that. So that was our fun night out. Besides that, was so fun. It was great.
It was fun.
Amazing. And then last weekend we hung out because the boys came over for UFC fights.
Yeah.
And we went to Cheesecake Factory for the first time.
It was so good. It was so delicious.
So bomb. And then poor Kate, she has IBS for those that don't really know and keep up with that. So we think it was the dairy a little bit that she might have had.
Well, it was probably the Tex-Mex egg rolls, I'm thinking.
Yes.
It was probably
the beans, the cheese, but they were so good. It
was worth it. It was so worth it.
Yeah. Then we do TikTok because we thought it was ending, the whole world thought.
Oh my God. I totally even forgot about that. It was we were literally in bed. It's me and Kelly in bed.
You're literally tucked in bed at 10 o'clock.
It's up to here. It's 9:30. We're just scrolling because TikTok's ending at this time.
Yep. And then what's so funny is as it's ending, certain functions on mine.
Right.
Okay, is this happening to you?
It was 1 second. Kelly was oh my God, I can't see profile pictures. Yeah. Oh my God, wait, comments are gone. Wait a second.
Yeah.
I can't like anything. And then all of a sudden you just couldn't scroll anymore.
I was I walk out there and I'm almost in tears. I'm oh my God, TikTok's gone, guys. And they're well, it's fine. I'm no.
And then we woke back up and it was back.
And then it was back, and it was like, okay, like, not that I like, you know, people are like, unless you make money off TikTok, why do you care? Maybe I don't make money, but it's my favorite social media, and it's going to be gone. So that was it.
Exactly. But like, it's just so comforting to watch, and like, you build that algorithm like so specified to you. So like every single TikTok I scroll is like, oh yeah, I want to watch that. I want to watch that one. I want to watch that one. And it's like so specified to you, which was nice. And I was so worried that when it went away and then it came back, that it was going to be like brand new and I had to like reset everything, all these things. But it went back.
It like went back, but I will say, and I've been seeing this, and you've probably seen it too, is there's like censorship happening now on TikTok. Like I was like really becoming in the know of like all of like the bad stuff happening in the world through TikTok. And now that's like gone. Like you search that, can't come up. So it's a little weird. It's a little strange.
There's another thing where it's like, I've seen this all over TikTok. It's like, you have to go block Facebook on TikTok. Like go to Facebook's TikTok.
Okay.
And block them. And then your For You page will like go back to normal as it was. Because when I did go back on, it was kind of like weird. Like I kept seeing like random shit.
Yes.
It was like so weird. It was very weird. And then I went to go block Facebook because I saw a TikTok saying block it. And then it went back to normal. Like completely normal. And I was like,
you're giving the people what they need right now to get their TikToks back.
Yeah. So if you want your TikTok back, go block Facebook and it will go back. I promise.
Oh my God. Thank you that's perfect. Because I'm like, yeah, it feels a little bit weird. Exactly. Also, her cases of Diet Dr. Pepper exploded right before.
Literally 20 minutes ago, just exploded. And I heard a big bang. My dog starts barking. And I was like, what the fuck was that? It's just an exploded can of Diet.
It's so cold. It's literally 10 degrees out today. It's nasty.
Ty sent me a Snapchat this morning when he went to work. And it was literally just 1 degree.
Dude, it's insane. I'm like, sorry, Copper, we're going to try to go later for a WALK. I'm like, I can't. No.
Yeah, Cece wanted to go outside and play Frisbee. And I'm like, I cannot stand out here.
But like, they would be out there all day.
It's so cold.
It's so funny. Oh my God. So like with the new year, I feel like this is a time of the year where like everybody's setting new goals and intentions and like habits, routines. And Kate, I want to ask you, are there any goals that you have this year that you're really honing in on, whether it be personally, professionally, academically even?
I think a lot of my new goals align with like being able to self-care, basically being able to like get up, get dressed and go out and do something.
Sure.
No matter what it is, because I work in 2 industries where it's like, I don't really need to do that every day.
Yeah.
Because with my server job, it's usually I'm working at night. So I have the entire morning to just do whatever I want. I could sleep in if I want. I can go to the gym if I want. I very much free will with that. For online coaching, it's all here. So if I want to stay in my pajamas all day, I can. Like today, I told myself that I was going to get up, go take a shower, get dressed, and put makeup on, and just like be an actual person.
Mm-hmm.
Because that just makes me feel so much better, and I know it does. And I feel like in the new year, I feel like I want to make that a priority.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so with you. I'm like, I feel like we're on the same wavelength with this so hard lately. And like, I've even just been, I would say probably since the start of the new year, I was like, okay, when I got back to work, I'm going to just like start getting like a little ready every day. Yeah. And it's amazing at how much it helps you just like feel, I don't know, like not awake, because I do feel awake when I don't get ready, but like you just feel so much better. You feel put together.
It feels like the day is going to be just 10 times better once you do that.
And I saw this thing, one of my favorite creators, her name's like Gretchen. I can't pronounce her last name, but she's like from the Boston area. So like, that's how I know her. But she was saying how she saw a TikTok that was like, spend an extra 10 minutes in the morning to have a more productive 10 hours throughout the day. And this is what I feel like it is. Like, I feel like I show up better for my clients, for my socials, for like, just, I don't know, there's like a confidence that like I'm able to like, I don't know, have when I get ready versus when I don't. And I just like feel good. It's like nice. It's like nice.
I totally agree. It's like, it just makes me, the only way I can describe it is like, it just makes me feel like a person. Like I feel like I am important.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so with you because like, obviously with online coaching, like, do I really need to get ready? No, I could wear, if I wanted to, I could wear my pajamas all day. I might not be the cutest look on my Loom videos, but I could do that. And I feel like when I get dressed, even if it's like more athleisure wear and I like put on leggings and an outfit, like it's better than just wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt all day. You just feel better. It's better for your mental health to like get dressed and like, get that ready piece done. So I feel that. Love that.
Yeah. This morning I was, well, you know this, but the past couple days have been rough. There's trouble with my car and then trouble at work and then trouble with money. So this morning I just came home and I made sure that I was going to do the one thing that like just makes me feel good. And self-care is that one thing.
Absolutely.
And I'm in such a better mood. Although my Diet Dr. Pepper did explode, it like didn't really affect me as much as it would have if I didn't do this morning. Like,
right. No, I get that. I totally get
that. If that exploded and I was still in my pajamas, like hair in a bun, it would have just been the, what's the saying?
Like the cherry on top.
The cherry on top, yeah.
I get that.
It's like, but now it's like, that didn't really even affect me. I'm like, okay, that happened. That's going to get cleaned up later, but.
Mm-hmm. No, I know. And that's like the good thing. It's like, it can wait. It's okay. It's just basically water. That's the good part. It's not sugary. So that is nice. It's not going to be sticky, but no, I feel that. I think too, like with this in terms of like New Year's goals and like resolutions, I think for me as well, alongside your goal of like, just like taking care of myself more this year. I also want to say yes a lot more this year, like yes to seeing friends, yes to making plans with family, like even going out of my way more to be the one that's like, hey, do you guys want to get together? Because I'll be honest, I don't always do that. I'm like really bad about that. And so I'm like, okay, like social life is something that I want to like pour into more this year. And I feel like that'll be a nice way of self-care too, because like socializing can be self-care. It kind of pours into your own cup. So I feel like that's also something that I'm working towards.
Right. I love that. I'm such a social butterfly. I have no qualms with people that like to stay in and are sometimes unable to like go out like that. But I've always made that a priority for me because I feel so much better when I do that. I feel so much better when I'm around other people.
Right.
Because I'm not alone with my thoughts so much. You know what I mean?
Sure. I can see that. I feel like I know this, but do you consider yourself like an introvert or an extrovert?
I consider myself I would say extrovert. I was going to say introvert, but extroverted. No, I'm definitely an extrovert. Like I will talk to anyone.
Yes, that is so true. And like the best
strangers and talk to them.
Yeah. You remind me so much of Danielle in that way because Danielle is so like that. Like, and I also think like the South versus like up here in the North, it is a very different like social climate, I guess.
I will say everyone in Texas, so sweet. It feels like anyone will come up to you and say something.
Yes.
Up in New England, no. They're not the nicest people. Like everyone has a little attitude.
I will also say, so like going from, technically we're not North Shore, but like I was like Northern Massachusetts growing up. Now I'm living in South Shore, Massachusetts. And there is a difference between the level of friendliness here versus there, which is so weird. Yeah. And I guess that's like a thing. Like my cousin Eddie was like, oh yeah, Kelly's from South Shore now. She's going to be like too nice to da-da-da. And I was like, is that like a thing? Because I like picked up on that because people say hi to you in the hallway. They talk to you in the elevator. That was not happening in Boston. No, you look at the ground in Boston. You're walking, keep your eyes on the ground. Do not make eye contact. You do
not look anywhere but your feet.
Yeah.
Or directly in front of you and just disassociate. Just walk.
Exactly. So yeah, more social time, more self-care, and obviously like business-wise, like trying to grow the business as a whole.
I feel like it's already on a good start.
Yeah.
And it's only the first month, so I feel like it's gonna just skyrocket.
Yeah, I feel really good about the changes that we've recently made the past couple of weeks. So like I kind of low-key announced this on Instagram, but I've been promoted to CEO of the company now. And I'm kind of in the midst of really learning all the ropes of that. And we're acting as COO currently, but the goal is to get me taking over all operations that Justin currently does. And I'm doing some coaching through Nikki Froyland. So anybody that's familiar through the Grow or Die podcast, Justin's podcast, he does these live coaching sessions with Nikki. And I'm going to actually be working with her coach, Julia, as my coach to like learn more business related items and more training in that sense, which is super exciting. And I'm very grateful for that. But even the past 2 weeks, you know, working alongside Danielle as head coach, she helped a lot with kind of redefining our packages and things. And so anyways, the goal is to like learn how to be a CEO essentially and grow the business and grow our staff's, you know, rosters and get them all to a place where like everybody can be full-time here. Because for those that aren't familiar, like it takes a while to get full-time with online coaching. It doesn't happen overnight. I think some people are very lucky in a sense if they have a following and then they start offering coaching, they might be able to get there a bit faster. But when you're starting at kind of ground zero, it takes years, honestly, to get to that point. So we're really developing, like putting systems in place to get everybody there, hopefully by end of this calendar year. So far, so good. So exciting stuff there.
Absolutely.
But I'd say in terms of like hot girl habits and things, what does your morning routine typically look like?
Well, sometimes, here's the thing. There's a big difference between where my mental health is at, because it is sometimes it goes through ups and downs, as does everyone.
Yeah.
When I'm having a good day, it's usually like get up, do my skincare, get dressed, do my hair, do my makeup, go get coffee, food, something like that, something to like eat or just consume during that time, and then go run my errands. I love running errands.
I know you do.
I love it so much, and I do it. I think it was always been like in my life because me and my mom always ran errands together.
Yeah.
Like on Saturdays, we'd always do it. We still do it. Like I still go out with my mom Saturday mornings, but that's like the perfect morning routine for me. That's usually how it goes. And I spend maybe like 20 minutes doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then I do spend some time going on like TikTok, Instagram, just seeing like where my nutrition Instagram's at, like checking all those insights, stuff like that. And then once that's done, if it's on like a Saturday, I won't check it again because I'm not working.
Yeah. I get that. What does your morning skincare routine look like?
Oh, I love this question. So I just got a new toner. It's the Ordinary Glycolic Acid.
Oh, yes. You were telling me about this. How do you like it?
So I love it. It's like an exfoliating one.
Mm-hmm.
So I wash my face first. The cleanser doesn't really like, I'm not too picky with cleansers. Yeah. Honestly, like I saw this thing where it's like, cleansers are literally on your face for like 30 seconds. You don't have to invest in like a really good one. You don't. So I just have, although I do have like low-key expensive ones, like it doesn't matter to me if it was like Cetaphil or if it was like the Youth to the People one.
Right.
So I just use a cleanser, wash my face, go back, use the toner, and then I have this new faded like topical cream that's like brightening and then like fades redness.
Nice.
And then I have this new moisturizer, and it's called Duo or Do or Doe, something like that. And it's like Instant Angel, like moisturizer, something like that. It is the best moisturizer I have ever tried.
I love that
in my life. I love it so much. Like my skin, look at my skin right now. Like
Kate has great skin. Like she just has perfect skin all the time.
My skin has always been pretty good. I have like obviously had breakouts, but like right now it's like super clear, and the only reason why I use the faded topical cream is because I have like little tiny acne scars that are like still kind of red, so I like to use it all over my face, but like specifically for those areas. Yeah. And I feel like it definitely has like faded. I'm like getting close to the camera.
I love it. No, it looks
no filter on this. We're just clear skin, no concealer, no nothing on my face right now, but yeah, that's the basic of my skincare. What's yours?
I love it. So for skincare, I typically will do like my CeraVe, just like general daily foaming face wash.
I know you use salicylic.
I switch on. Yes. So I am using tretinoin. I've been on tretinoin since August, which for those that aren't super familiar, it's a retinoid. So it helps to increase the cell turnover in your skin. So it helps with like fine lines, photo aging, acne scarring, texture. It's literally like a miracle drug. 10 out of 10 recommend. It is a prescription-based drug, but you can go to, I think it's called Scriptly is the site, and you can get it like easily prescribed for you. But I've been on that. I'm on like the 1%, so the stronger one. And so with that change, I was on Differin for like 2 years before that, which is like a slightly less intense retinoid. But with this more intense retinoid, you're already exfoliating a ton. So you don't really want to use a ton of like glycolic acids or salicylic acid like all the time. So I'll use my salicylic acid face wash in the morning twice per week. And it's usually on a day where I'm not going to be using my retinoid. And honestly, anyone that's used tretinoin, you get a little peely. So when you start getting a little peely, you're like, oh, yep, I need my exfoliant today.
Right.
So I typically spread it out because if I do too much, it will destroy my skin barrier and then my skin freaks out. I use that twice per week, but then every other day I'm using just like this general face wash from CeraVe. I'm a big CeraVe fan. I found that it's the best thing for my personal skin. And I've bought the medical grade stuff. I use this brand called Soyer, which was beautiful and great, but I'm telling you, I've had better luck with CeraVe. So I keep it cheap and what's working for me.
But you have really sensitive skin too, so I feel like it's really good for sensitive skin.
So sensitive, yes. So I use like a face wash, and then I use the CeraVe, like the tub of moisturizer that can also moisturizer for my face. I will say my skin, because I'm 28 now, has like evolved a little bit. So it's gotten drier. I used to be a very oily person. I think I was very oily because I was always stripping my skin, but I didn't realize that when I was younger. So like, don't overstrip your skin. People that have oily skin or acne, it's actually the worst thing you can do for it. Right. But I now use that tub of moisturizer. I use that on my face and my whole body. And I always use SPF. I am a sunscreen freak. And I have been since I was literally like 19. I have been on this, like the SPF grind since I was 19. Yeah. So I use like the tinted CeraVe for like just like daily, but I also use the It Cosmetics CC cream that has
I love that one.
50. Dude, yeah. And like that's such nice daytime makeup. Like that's what I have on right now. And I was using like my beauty blender to put it on. Now I'm using my fingers and it looks way better when I apply it with my fingers.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy.
Wicked. It's like, it's such a different, like, it looks like a different texture, like on your skin. When you just do it with your fingers, it's like so much better.
It's so much better for some reason. And I'm like, this is great. Make it easy for me. So yeah, that's what I've been using for like skincare in the morning. And then for like my morning routine, typically like me and John get up around like 5:36. We let Copper out. I have coffee. We snuggle him a little bit, get him like fed for breakfast. Then I usually go to the gym or I'll go do like a Peloton or whatever I'm doing for movement. So morning movement is huge for me. And I find that to be really important for my focus throughout the day. I feel so much better in terms of the way that I show up for my clients when I move my body. Even if it's like a rest day, like I typically get in a walk with Copper. Today we didn't. It's 10 degrees outside, so we're pushing it off a little bit, but in normal weather, that's kind of what I do, is some sort of morning movement. And then I come home and then I shower, get ready, and then I usually dive right into my work. I used to be big on meditation during grad school in the morning, and that saved me so much because my stress and anxiety was absolutely horrible at that time. And I totally recommend it. The reason I don't utilize that practice anymore is I just feel as though I don't really need it anymore, but I would totally reincorporate if I felt like I got to a place in my life where I needed it. But that's like typically my morning routine. It's like, yeah, taking the time to like get ready in the morning is so helpful.
Yeah, I love that. It's just such a nice thing to do for yourself too. It's like you're rewarding yourself even before you
start your
day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, are you big on like a big breakfast? Like, what's your appetite like in the morning?
No appetite. No.
Yeah.
It's on a good day, I can go get like, past couple days, I could get like an egg and cheese.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I can eat that. Usually in the morning, I can. Like, I have to like try to eat some type of fruit or something like that.
Yeah.
But appetite's usually never high in the morning for me.
Yeah, I feel that. So like where I train in the morning, I don't eat before I work out. And I know that's like controversial, but I also have a pretty big dinner every night. So like that's when I'm most hungry. It's like dinner time. So like I just kind of work with my hunger cues. I don't overcomplicate anything anymore. I'm just like, let me eat when I'm hungry and I'm going to make the meal that I want. So I typically have a pretty large dinner at night. And I find that kind of allows for me to wake up in the morning with fuller glycogen stores. I focus on my hydration. I take some electrolytes, creatine, and then I have a solid breakfast thereafter. And I'm typically like an egg and cheese girl myself, or I'll do like a smoothie, or sometimes it's just like a elite core protein shake and like a granola bar. It just depends on like the day, but I'm with you. It depends.
Sometimes it's like so much easier for people who don't have like an appetite in the morning. Sometimes you like try to get a smoothie in because you're drinking something. It doesn't feel like you're chewing, you're eating something like that. Yeah. It's just like you're drinking something. Or Core Power. We love Core Power here. Wow. We're Core Power fam. We love it. But something like that, I found that it's like extremely easy for me and like clients that don't have an appetite in the morning. Yeah. Just try to like drink something like that.
That's it. Yes. I think even like 100% fruit juice, like if you can't stomach anything, can you have a glass of orange juice? Like kind of get the digestive juices rolling for the day is kind of the goal with that. So yeah, I think morning eating looks different for every person, and don't feel bad if you have a low appetite in the morning and then maybe your friend has this great appetite in the morning. They have a huge breakfast. Like do what works for you. But I always say something's better than nothing.
Right. Exactly.
Amazing. Oh, also, I feel like something that I try to do very intentionally is the light exposure in the morning. So,
oh my God, I do too, and I don't even realize it since you brought that up.
I was like, before I forget, yeah.
As soon as I wake up, I immediately open my blinds.
That's it.
Like, immediate.
Yeah. And a lot of the time right now, it's dark when we wake up. So I put on the artificial bathroom lighting. It's always horrible immediately.
Yeah, right. Your eyes are like this.
It sucks. It sucks so bad. But in a perfect world, when it's like summer and spring here, like the best thing is like opening the blinds, the natural light comes through.
And it's just already so warm outside, and you can just like open the window immediately, and you're like, oh, the air feels nice. Like it feels nice to have like just fresh air in the room.
Yes. I think there's a lot of benefit to getting outside in the morning, even in this freezing cold weather. Like it helps a lot.
Every morning I have to go, because I sleep at Ties, obviously. Like I basically live at Ties, but every morning I have to go, since the winter, I have to go start my car.
Yeah.
And this morning I felt like I went to a cold tub this morning because I had shorts and his t-shirt on. Stop. And I ran outside to start my car, and I was like, oh wow, it's actually freezing outside. Yeah. But I like stood there, I was like, okay, now I can go outside. Like I stood there for a second to like just get my body into like a wake up mode. It definitely wakes up.
Oh yeah, the freezing cold wakes you up. That's for sure. I know. I'm like, I can't wait for the spring. We're close. We've got like 2 more months, and then it's beginning to get hopeful again.
I love spring. What's your favorite season? I know we're getting off topic, but
I know, but I love all of the seasons, and that's why I love New England. But I think my favorite, it's a tie between summer and fall. I mean, I feel like I love so many things about summer, especially living here and being like in the South Shore now, like near the beaches, and it's like a different vibe down here in the summer. It's like feels like you're on, I don't know, ocean time, I guess. But I love the fall. Like I've always loved the fall. What about you?
My favorite time is between like end of spring, beginning of summer. It's very like,
yes.
It's like 65. It's like 60. You have the heat on in your car, but you have the windows rolled down. Perfect temperature for me.
That is.
And I love it because then you're just like, you feel like you're so cooped up like during the winter, and you're not able to do any of that.
Yeah.
And then that first day where you can roll the windows down with the heat on, it's like, oh, that is something else. That is just something else.
I feel that. I think we appreciate the change of the seasons, like spring, so much more than like other places that maybe don't get a very drastic winter. And there is no better feeling like knowing, like the air smells different. It feels different.
Flowers are blooming. It's just so pretty and like.
Yeah, I feel that. I love that. What do you typically do throughout your like work day that allows for you to practice some self-care?
So during my work day, I like to take tiny little breaks. Like say I'm working on a plan or something like that. Work on that for an hour, take a break, let CC outside, something like that. If I didn't shower in the morning or I'm not going to shower at night, like take a break, go take a shower, feel like bring myself back to baseline and then go back to it. I feel like taking breaks during the workday.
Yeah.
Although it's easy for online coaching to do that, but when you're serving at night, or say you work, like I'm working a double tomorrow, so I'm going at 11:30, I won't get out till like 8:30 or 9. It's hard for me to take a break.
Yeah.
And like just kind of be with myself for a second. Thankfully, I get like, they give me a 10-minute break, but like get some food in. So I just like sit at one of the booths and I just eat, and then I just like kind of bring myself back to baseline, which I appreciate very much. I wish there was a little bit more time where I can kind of do something for myself, but that's okay. Other days I love to like be able to go get a coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
And just be able to like have that to look forward to while I'm working too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So nice. What do you do?
I feel like kind of depends on the day, because I have some days like coaching where like I don't have time for any break. So the only break I really get is like with Copper, because he needs to have that time. So like, I'll preface this, he's crate trained. So like when Copper is out of the crate, he still needs to be very much so supervised. Like he will get into trouble. I can't just have him like lay next to me as I'm working. We'll get there eventually, but like we're not at that point. And so he will be in the crate and then I let him out. We typically will do like some playtime. In the nice weather, we go outside. It's always an outdoor excursion type of a break. Right. But lately it has been so not enjoyable to be outside that we just have been running around like crazy people in here. I swear here. He runs like a crazy man in here. So we play, we train. So like that's big for him. He needs a lot of stimulation throughout the day. So like physical stimulation, mental stimulation, and then calming type activities. So like I kind of do it in that way. We physically get the energy out, we train, and then I calm him down, and then he goes back for another nap. So my breaks are usually surrounded by what Copper needs, but I love that because like that's my self-care too. Like when I play with Copper, like it's brings me back to earth. Like if I'm having a stressful day with clients, or now kind of taking over some of these duties and like handling like client complaints or like dealing with people that want refunds. Like it's not a lot of fun dealing with those people. It's actually horrible. I hate it. But that can be very stressful because I'm dealing with conflict. And so like I get to take a break from that conflict or that stress of like, you know, holding space for somebody with their disordered eating or them having a hard time. And I decompress with Copper. So that's been a game changer. But when it's nice out, we always go for walks at least twice a day in the summertime. Right. And I also, this is something I'm working on to be better at this year, is actually eating a lunch. I have notoriously been bad about eating during the day, like a real meal, not just like a snack and a this and that. And something's better than nothing, but it's really important for me to practice what I preach and take a moment, take 15, 20 minutes and eat. So I try to take like an hour of like eat, entertain Copper, and then get back to work if I can in my schedule. And I consider that to be self-care, like eating. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think what else. I don't have any issues staying hydrated, but I know sometimes people struggle with that throughout the day. So like that could be something to think about as being intentional, like try to get like half a water bottle down or your Stanley down, like, and make time for that. But moving your body a little bit, which I do, helps kind of recenter.
Yeah.
Totally. I also like doing, so like when I'm home, obviously I like to like clean a little bit sometimes on my break. Like, oh, if I have like laundry I can do, or like dishes I can clean up. Like I love that. It always feels good.
I like to do it on my day off because my day offs feel like that's the time to get everything done.
Oh yeah. And on those days
off. It feels so much better to clean on my day off than it does like trying to get it done in the morning or try to get it done during like a little break I'm giving myself, because I like feel like I can actually dedicate myself to that cleaning or to that task.
Yeah, I feel that.
And then it gets done either quickly or it gets done like the way it should be done.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like having like, it's either Saturday or Sunday, kind of just depends on the schedule, where I do like a massive reset. Like I'm vacuuming, I'm cleaning the couch, I'm cleaning the floors, bathroom, the whole thing. It's like the best feeling. But yeah, like little micro cleans happen throughout the week here because it would get absolutely disgusting dirty if I did it. But I love to do like even just like 15 minutes washing the dishes, make sure the kitchen's clean, helps my like brain focus better. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah, wicked. When it's clean, when you're in a clean environment, it just feels like everything's more put together in your life. And it almost like when your physicality like around you is clean, it feels like up here.
Yeah.
Like
I'm so with you on that.
So much more clarity in your head.
Yeah. So important. That's like another hot girl habit, is like keeping your space clean, organizing, like taking, and that's a form of self-care, is like keeping your space, you know, tidy and whatever that looks like to you.
Organized. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've definitely fell victim to my room's always like a mess or something, but like there'll be times where like I'll clean up and I'm like, oh, that feels so good.
Doesn't
like
it?
Now I can sleep at night. It's like I can sleep in like a messy room. But whenever I clean it and it's like really clean, I'm like, oh, wow, this feels nice.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so with you on that. I feel like that's kind of it for like midday work related self-care. There's not a whole lot of time for self-care during the workday, but I think taking a minute to move your body can be good. Eating, pausing at some point, and that's important.
Mm-hmm.
What do you typically do for like your evening routines?
The evening routine is where most of my self-care takes place.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when everyone winds down. It feels like it's time to reset your day. You have a new day coming. So like, let's put everything in place.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've been doing that I've made it a point to do every single night is color.
I love this.
And I've been getting like 2 pages a night, every single night. And they're just like wicked easy coloring books. They're like the big, bold and easy ones. It's literally called Bold and Easy. And it is like so stress-free, and it's so nice because you get the alcohol markers, and they like kind of like, they bleed a little bit. So it's like when you draw on it, it like makes a bigger mark than what you did.
Yeah.
But that has been like a saving grace for me, and it makes me tired. And I've realized that like, even when I do it during the day, it'll make me stay awake, and it won't make me want to take a nap or something. So I like will do that instead.
I see.
And then I'll stay awake. And then at night, it actually like winds me down, puts me like in a type of sleep mode.
Yes.
I usually take my showers at night. I'm such a night showerer.
Yeah.
So I'll do that and then do all my skincare. It's usually basically the same as my morning skincare. I might use the Jet Lag mask by Summer Fridays. Love that one because it's a thicker moisturizer.
I see.
And then brush my hair. I will either like put it in like the heatless curl thing or just like put it in a ponytail or leave it down or something like that.
Yeah.
And I get all in bed and I get nice and comfy and I sit like this. And then I can put on like my favorite show, or I have my book right next to me. I can read my book, and I have plenty of options for me to like wind down if I want to choose something. And I feel like having options like that is really good.
Yeah.
Because then you're not stuck in this mode where like, oh, what do I do at night? Oh, I guess I'll just go on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At least I have options to choose from, and I give myself those options.
Yes, absolutely.
And my favorite part of the night is turning on my red light. Favorite part of the night.
It's the best. Red light is a game changer. It really is.
And then like when I fall asleep, I like put my face towards it because it's so weird. It's such a weird thing, but like once I turn around and like basically put my face towards it,
yeah.
I immediately feel like 10 times sleepier.
Yeah.
And that might be like a placebo effect, the way I'm like staring at it and I immediately feel sleepy, but I
hear that.
It works.
With your red light, is it like a panel of red light or is it like a bulb? What do you use for your red light?
So Nancy got me this little polar bear thing that was like basically a nightlight. And you hit the head. It's squishy. You hit the head and it changes different colors. And there was a red light option. So I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. But what I wanted to get was like, you know, in college when they used to have those like little LED lights that you put on. I wanted to get that specifically to put it on red.
Yeah. So you've seen it. Like we have a light. And it definitely doesn't like emit the rays that you need for like the skincare benefits or anything, but it just keeps it like nice and dim. Yeah. And the red light triggers melatonin regardless. So like that does help. And I've posted this a couple times. I have a red light mask. It's like the Skin Gym one. It was $100, but I have the Omnilux one on the way because I have a friend in medical aesthetics that could get me a half off deal. I was not spending $500 on this mask, let me tell you. So I got it for like $200 and that's on the way. And I'm so excited to start using that. And I will use that religiously every single night. Yeah. I feel that. I think red light's amazing. I love the evening routine with the coloring. I think that's so underrated as like a way to decompress at the end of the day.
And I feel like coloring is like it's seen as such a childish activity, but it's like it's so common. If you ever tried it, like, do you remember coloring when you were little and how much you loved it? Like, try it now. It's so much better. It's like I will get stressed out if it's like a very intricate type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. I specifically don't color anything very intricate. Like I need big, bold, like Crayola, basically, like just learning how to color type of coloring books.
Right.
And it's so amazing because it's like this is so nice and satisfying. It's very satisfying because once you finish that picture, you're like, oh, look at me. I finished another task.
Yes.
In bed.
Yes. No, it's so nice. I used to do that a lot in grad school. I still have the coloring book. I should honestly like start pulling that out. That should be part of my like evening routine. I should do that.
That's so fun.
That was so helpful. And I feel like for me, like evening routine wise, I usually will wrap up work, eat dinner, and play with Copper, cater to his needs. And I make it a point to turn all the lights down. So it is dark. As soon as the sky is getting dark, my house is also getting dark. So I start that process early in the evening right now. And that helps with me like starting to feel sleepy. That helps to trigger melatonin release. And I also will do like some sort of like evening shower if like I want to shower. Sometimes I just wash my face in the sink, just depends.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier to take the shower than just washing your face in the sink.
Always. I make a mess when I'm trying to wash my face. Like,
me too.
It's just easier to shower and just like be able to like get the water everywhere.
Yeah, and especially like if I've been outside, I always shower again because I don't want like outside germs getting in.
Right.
I don't leave the house again after like my morning walk. So if I don't, maybe I don't. But I do my skincare. I use the same kind of face wash and the CeraVe moisturizer. I always apply. I feel like this is an underrated tip. Always apply your moisturizer when your skin is still moist and wet. That is how you retain moisture. Once your skin is dry and then you put moisturizer on, it's not doing anything. Right. So always put it on damp. So I always do that. Wait for my skin to dry. I use my retinoid every other night because if I use it every night, it will destroy my skin. It's too strong. So I use that every other night. And then I use the Cicaplast on top of it. And then on nights where I don't use the retinoid, I will do moisturizer, Cicaplast balm, and Vaseline all over my face. I know that probably freaks people out, but it is a game changer, especially if you're like in a dry climate or, you know, it's freezing cold. Like I swear to God, I get windburn on my face like every day walking.
Oh, yeah.
That's been so helpful. And I always put Vaseline under my eyes. And I've also been doing that under my makeup and it helps to reduce the creasing. Like I'm a very smiley gal. I have very much so crow's feet unless I get a ton of like neurotoxin here, which I don't want it to be overly toxed there because then it like ruins my smile and I don't like that look. So I like to have a little bit of crow's feet. And so I have a lot of that. So I crease a ton and like I'm older. So like it's starting to like, it makes lines and it doesn't look great. So Vaseline underneath your makeup, game changer, game changer. I learned that from like a makeup artist on TikTok, but I use that. And then I don't have a whole lot of free time in the evening. I usually like watch TV for about a half an hour and then I go to bed, or I scroll TikTok for a half an hour and then I go to bed. So that's kind of what my evening routine looks like. I will also take a lot of my supplements in the evening because that's just what time and I remember it. I love taking Serenity Gummies by Cured Nutrition. They have CBD. They do have 1 milligram of THC in there. And then they have L-theanine, ashwagandha, reishi mushroom, all very calming ingredients. I used to utilize cannabis before bed, like nightly. And that's a hot girl habit I've changed this year is I'm not using that nightly anymore. I'm using that possibly only on the weekends if I even want to use it. And I found that the Serenity gummies for like the CBD, if you're somebody that like basically uses cannabis to help you get to bed, CBD will have the same exact effect, if not better, and it won't impact your REM sleep. So consider using CBD before bed for the calming and sleep aid effect. So those are like my favorites for kind of evening routine.
Yeah, I love that. It's so calming. It's like I love watching like things that like everyone else's nightly routine. It's like, oh, which types of like things that I can use from them that I can implement into mine.
That's it. I know. Those are like my favorite videos. Like my morning routine, my evening routine. I'm like, oh, what do you do? I'm so nosy.
Yeah, right.
But I will say, and I'll call myself out, I am not good about getting off my phone before bed. That's something I maybe like to get better at. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think it's realistic for me. I feel like I decompress with my phone, which is probably not.
Which I feel like that's like a lot of people.
It is.
And that's why I try to like implement some type of thing like that's not on my phone, like the coloring or like the book, something that like I need options. I need to have options. And if those aren't like doing it for me, I'll go on my phone, but I'm going to try those other ones first.
Yeah. I do like because like when we have a show, we'll always watch the show before bed. I'm not on my phone and I love that. But like right now we're in a drought of shows. So if anybody has any good shows that they're watching, drop them in the comments because I need a new show. I forever miss The Sopranos. I was like very late to the party on that one. We watched that like a year or two ago and we were obsessed. Okay. Like, love that. But we're without a show right now. But what do you typically do for like kind of like weekly like things, like in terms of like an everything shower? Like what does that look like for you? Like weekly
everything shower is probably like once a week. And that usually happens on like a Friday. Say like I'm going out or something. It's either a Friday or a Saturday that I'm going out. I'm not going out on a weekday, but like that will happen either one of those days. During the week, I would say like it's small things, like just being able to like get my morning routine in or get my nightly routine in.
Yeah.
Is like such a big accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
Because there was like a point in my life where like I didn't do any of that. I would just immediately go from like going outside, coming home, like it's getting dark, but I still have all of my lights on. And I'm not having that wind down time, which I need now. Like there's no way I'm going to sleep if I don't have my like at least 2 hours of wind down time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There were a couple nights this past week where I was working late and I couldn't fall asleep. I was like, I'm having insomnia because my brain is just like spinning. I'm like, I need to cut work.
Sometimes I'll literally like, if I'm trying to sleep at home, I'll literally like, I didn't turn the lights off. I've been on my phone. It's already like 9 o'clock. I'm like, oh my God, like this is way past my wind down time. So I literally turn all the lights off. I go to Ty's because now I can't sleep in that room. Because now that's like just going to be associated with like, everything's still on in my brain. So I go to Ty's and I have my wind down time there and I'm like, okay, now I can fall asleep.
Now I can sleep. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. I think for me, like weekly kind of self-care, I'm back on the self-tan journey. Okay. I do find that it helps me, like, especially like just a little pick me up in the middle of the winter. So I do self-tan usually once a week. I will do it if I'm like going to go out and I have plans, usually like Thursday night. Sometimes I will do it like the day of if I'm really late to the party with it. But I do self-tanner at least once a week. So I'll exfoliate with an exfoliating glove and like my body wash. And that's like my go-to. I'll do like a hair mask once a week with the Ouai. It's like OUAI brand. I love that hair mask. So I've been using that once per week. And then I do like a scalp serum from them. So like I have taken my extensions out this past year. It'll be like a year and like a couple weeks. And I've like been trying to like grow my hair just like and keep it healthy. And I'm not coloring it anymore. I'm just like raw dog in the hair. And the scalp serum, I used the Kerastase one last year. I do think that made a difference, but I'm using the Ouai one now. And it's been 1 week and I can literally already feel a difference in my hair. Like it just feels so good. Yeah. So use that. And then I use some like super shine cream from Oribe, like after every wash. I wash my hair like twice a week. How often do you wash your hair?
It's probably similar, like twice a week. I try to push it. Sometimes I'll like really push it. I usually don't. I love using my dry shampoo that I use is like the IGK dry shampoo is usually what I love.
Yeah.
The one that I love is the Living Proof one.
Yeah.
And those two are my go-tos, but sometimes like I won't use them because like sometimes they'll make my hair like, you know, that feeling.
It's like powdery. It like, it's like, it's time to just wash it at that point.
And then, at that point you just like have to wash it. But when I'm on like, say like day 3 hair, I'll literally just like put more oil in it.
Yep.
And like put like, say I could go out with a hair mask and just like literally slick my hair back up, put it in a braid or something and just like go out like that. And I find that when I do that and then I do like shampoo, conditioner, everything in the shower that night with that hair mask in and everything, it's so much better. Like my hair has actually been like really good about not getting like as greasy and I feel like I've been training it really well.
Yeah, so, I love that. Yeah. I recently started using the hair oil too from Ouai.
Oh, I love it.
I feel like that's been so helpful. Like when I did my blowout last weekend, like with all the hair products, dude, it was a game changer. I'm like my hair, it's not like maintained it, but like it just feels better. I'm like, it feels better. What else? I also use like a clarifying shampoo twice. I do a double shampoo. Do you do a double?
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's the best, especially if you want to like reduce the amount of times you're washing your hair and basically like breaking your hydrogen bonds in your hair per week. Double cleanse your scalp. I like using a clarifying from Ouai. It's like their detox. And then I use the Oribe Gold Loss after that. And I feel like that has been such a good thing for my scalp, at least. And this sounds so gross, but I'll just like admit it. So like when I had extensions, I swear to God, because like you don't want to wash your hair a lot with extensions. It's a pain. It sucks washing your hair with extensions. And you can't really like wash it super good. And like, I mean, I went to hair school, so like I can give a good shampoo. So like I can get underneath the wefts, but it was never as clean as my head is now. And I like the detox shampoo from Way like changed my scalp. Like I don't have any flaking. I don't like it just is so much better. So I love that clarifying shampoo. But yeah, and I use Gold Lust for conditioner on the times that I'm not using a leave-in mask. And that's kind of like the shower routine, the self-tan. What else weekly? I'll like dermaplane my face like once a month. That's like once a month.
Yeah.
It's a weekly thing.
I feel like
like monthly. Too. Yeah. I started getting my nails done again. So that's monthly. That's like every 3 weeks for me. Yeah. And that feels so good. I'm like, this is like the best $100 I've spent. I need to do this continuously.
Some things I used to do was like when I had like more, I guess, money in my bank account, I was like able to go get massages every month. Yeah. And that helped so much because I have had back problems for like forever. It's so bad. But yeah, that has helped me like relax so much. And whenever I would get that done and I'd come home and I'm like, oh my God, like I feel so nice. And I'd have the best sleep of my life that night.
Yeah. No, I feel that. There was a time I go through stints. Like there was a time when I was training at Lifetime where I was getting a massage like every 8 weeks I was going, and it did help me. And then I like fell off that train of things because I like moved and I was like, I'm not going to Lifetime anymore. Right. And I'm like, I don't do it. But I also think too, my training is a little bit different now. So like I eat different. My recovery is so much better than it was. Like so much better. There was a time in my life where I was like in constant pain of just soreness all the time. Like, and that's not even like indicative of good muscle growth. That's more like your tendons and ligaments are being damaged at that point.
Yeah, right.
So like, I feel like my recovery is much better, but yeah, that's like another kind of monthly thing. And I don't do my hair anymore. So I'm getting my first haircut in a year, like next week. What do you do for like your hair? How often do you get it done?
Well, since one of my friends is she's a stylist at a salon. So like whenever I can literally just text her whenever I want and she'll like put me on the schedule. Yeah. And lately I just got my hair done. It's way blonder than it was.
Yeah.
Because I told her to like go heavy. My roots is you can like.
Yes, very blonde.
So like, but that's how I like it. That's what I want.
I love it.
And lately it's been like every 3 months maybe because my hair grows pretty fast and my roots like they are like dirty blonde, like light brown. So they're not as dark and as like a contrast, but like I see it and I need to like get it done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get that. I know.
So it's probably like every 3 months.
Every 3 months. Yeah.
Every haircut maybe every year.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to cut my hair. Because there was one time where I was in third grade and my mom cut my hair to here.
See, it's like you're traumatized after that. You're scared to get haircuts. Yeah.
It never grow. Like this is like my hair, if I didn't cut it last year, probably would have been like down to here. And that would have been the longest my hair would ever have been.
Yeah. Yeah. I trimmed my hair on Thanksgiving Eve after like a drink too, but like it came out great.
I need to do this right now.
I literally was like, this is irritating me. I'm like, the dead ends need to go. They're going right now. So again, I did go to hair school, so I know how to cut my hair, but like, I was like, I need to like go in there and get like my angles like retrimmed, like just like get a good refresh. But I will say, and I've been going to Marissa for like literally 10 years, okay? Because I used to work at that salon and I never leave. I'm a loyal ass girl, okay? I have the same boyfriend, I've had the same friends, I've had the same hairstylist, I've had the same coach. Justin doesn't coach me anymore, but like I'm still working with him in some capacity and some shape or form. So like, anyways, I've been going to her forever and I know she won't like do anything bad to me. I know that, but even me, I'm like, I don't want to lose length next week. Marissa, please, can we just do a little skimmy skim? Can you just like, and she'll do great. But I also this year, so for people that are trying to like grow their hair and like get their hair healthy, have very curly hair naturally. And I think a lot of people like in high school and like college, you go through this, like you're straightening your hair all the time. You're using tons of stuff, you know? And it was like, I'm going to challenge myself this year to just like do my natural hair and just like let my hair grow, let my hair get healthy. Cause I've been bleaching it like to the craziness for like the past 10 years. And that has been a game changer. Just like doing like I have like this Diva Curl kind of like curling gel and I put that in when I want to wear it curly, and I've like learned to appreciate the curls a lot more, and I'm like, oh, I could go out with my hair curly, like it's okay like this, especially in the summer because my hair doesn't hold straight in the summer. But that was so helpful. So like embracing the natural hair is definitely helpful for the health of it.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people like you always see people speaking of, this is my natural hair. This is
hair's like
no bend, no
It's kind of nice though. It's just like you don't have to do much and it like looks very nice.
Yeah, it's just, this is it. I brushed it, but
yeah,
a lot of people when they were younger, it was usually like, oh, I have to straighten my hair every single day. I have to do this every single day. And like the integrity of the hair is just like gone until you have to grow it out and just don't touch it for like a year.
Yeah.
And then it gets back to that normal curl pattern.
Yes, absolutely. Also, like in terms of like facials, do you get facials throughout the year?
I've only gotten one facial in my
life. There was a time where I was getting them like every month, hydrofacials with Krista. And then I was like, my skin got good after that. So I was like, I don't really need them as often. So I don't get facials, but I do get, it's basically like a form of Botox, like once or twice a year. Right. And I'm not promoting that per se, like do whatever you want, but I do get that done. I get, why am I blanking? Dysport. I use Dysport. So it's a little bit stronger than typical Botox and it lasts longer. So I've been doing that. I got it in my masseters in August for the first time ever. And game changer for TMJ if you have it. And I do think that it helped with some of like the facial slimming, if you will. Krista was like, can you bite down for me? And she's like, you have the strongest masseters I've ever felt in my life. And I was like, yeah, I like have a square face. Like I have a very square face. Yeah. And with all like the training, like it sounds funny, but when you're training hard,
you like,
some people wear mouth guards when they train because they'll crack their teeth.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, that definitely like developed over time, like from that. So like, yeah, I got that. That was a game changer for headaches and all the things. So I love that. But I'll do that. And I get filler in my lips. I haven't gotten it done in like 2 years now. I think 2023 was the last time I did it. And I clearly don't need more. So we're just leaving it. So, yeah.
I've only gotten lip flips, which is just like basically like 4 units of Botox.
Yeah.
Right here. And then it basically like, see how it's such a gummy smile?
Yeah.
It just brings it down.
That's it. Yeah. And we're going to have Krista on the podcast, actually. We're going to bring her on, I think, in February because she's in school right now to become a nurse practitioner. So, like, she's super busy and she's working, like, full-time. So but she is going to come on the podcast and talk about all things like Botox, fillers, skincare in your 20s, 30s. And that'll be a super fun episode to, like, pick her brain. And I'll ask her, like, the specifics of, like, how much units do we put into my face? Because I don't know. I don't have information.
No,
I typically do the 11s, the temporal. I do some here in my crow's feet, and I did the masseters. But you're not supposed to do the masseters often. That's like a once per year thing. Like, do not do that often. So, yeah. And if you're under 30, you really don't need any of that. But I was wanting to be preventative, and I know that's also controversial that like you can't really be preventative. But Krista told me that you could, so I went with it.
So there it is.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what we do for like routines and like self-care
habits,
like cosmetic stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's kind of it. Workouts, I feel like the one different thing for me that I've been doing is Pilates once per week, and I freaking love it. It has been so humbling, and I would encourage everybody to try a new form of movement this year. I feel like that's so fun. It just like moves your body differently.
Yeah, exactly. And it just like gives you something to look forward to. Because like once you try it, say like remember when I first started going to Rumble, and I'm like, it's so fun. It's such a fun thing to like try out.
Yes.
And then like you're sore in your body, but you're like, oh my God, I feel like I've never gotten this sore from like going to the gym and lifting.
Yeah.
But like you're doing another form of movement where like you're punching a bag. You're like getting all those muscles moving at the same time. So it's fun.
Yeah. No, I'm like really falling in love with Pilates, and I still strength train 3 times a week, 2 leg days, 1 upper body day. I do 30 minutes of cardio 3 times a week on the Peloton. I try to do at least 1 or 2 HIIT classes because I like it, and it's good for your HDL cholesterol. So that's your good cholesterol. So I have a lot of heart disease in my family, so I really try to focus in on that. And I don't track my steps anymore. That was not something I wanted. I haven't done that for a long time, but I like walk like once or twice a day with Copper. And the Pilates has been fun. I'm trying the 1.5 class this week.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, it's a level up, and I'm super excited. I'm actually really scared though, because I'm like, am I ready? But we're going to find out if I'm ready. So
you're going to find out when I get there.
That's it. We signed up for all 1.5s this month, so we better be ready. Yeah.
Better be.
But that's kind of it in terms of like exercise routines. We both eat intuitively. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. And I don't really do anything like special. Like I don't do any like gut health cocktails or anything like that. I don't know.
No, it's like if I probably should go on one, for right now because like that's been, but it's mostly like anxiety. I know where it's from, but
yes,
yeah, I feel like we both have a very similar type of eating habits, I should say.
Yeah.
But that is our little Tucker habits for morning, afternoon, and night.
Yeah, weekly, monthly, yearly.
All your stuff, all the good girly stuff you guys want to know. So
yes, amazing. Well, super excited to record the next episode. We'll have to figure out what we're gonna do. We don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll be back weekly. That's a promise. We're back weekly, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Bye.